Yes, just introduce yourself.
Hi, good night. I'm Malia Joseph.
Okay, pleased to meet you, Malia, and welcome. Leanne, could you introduce yourself?
Good night, I'm Liana Williams.
Pleased to meet you, Liana, and welcome. Joel Mills, could you introduce? Your mic is on mute. Could you unmute your mic, please?
Good night, everyone.
Good
I am
night.
Joel Mills.
Pleased to meet you, and thank you for coming in. Joel, I'm seeing Joel Bumbry.
Hey, good night, everyone. My name is Joel Bunbury.
Pleased to meet you and welcome. Whitney Ben.
Hi.
Good night.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Well, it's kind of dark, so
okay, no problem.
Good night, everyone. My name is Whitney Ben. Nice to meet you all.
Okay. Welcome, Whitney. Okay, folks, thank you for being here this evening. I know you could be elsewhere, but you've chosen to be here, which tells of your own passion and your commitment to being entrepreneurs or learning more on personal development. So this evening, as I'm going to start with a brief introduction. Just 1 minute, I'll have to stop sharing this and then just get to it quickly. Just bear with me 1 minute, please. Let me get it up. Okay. I just wanted to restart. I can't seem to find the information here. I just wanted to get to I took everything up and now I can't find it. Okay, here it is. I think sometimes I have too many things open at the same time. Okay, so the power of customers. Many of us have businesses and we keep thinking, you know, that we are in business to make money. But if we do not know where to find or how to find our customers, then what will happen is that our businesses may not make the money that we need it to make. So some of the things that customers, you know, talk about is important for us to know. So for example, look at these three people who are out and talking about going to have ice cream. One person is the influencer. That person asks the others, let's go for ice cream. The gentleman here is saying, yum, let's go to Fanny. Fanny has some yummy ice cream. The other girl here is saying, plus it's a fun place to go, so let's go. So these are the kinds of conversations that your customers will have about your product if you are selling a product or a service. So you have to know the way that your customers think. So marketing is about creating customer loyalty, having customers to come to your business all the time so that you can make more money. Marketing is about identifying the customer's needs, about satisfying those needs. And you need to do that better than your competition, better than the next person who's doing a similar business as you are. So it's very important as businesses for us to start thinking about how can we better serve our customers, right? So how does, you see the 3-step approach to how to create loyal customers. I remember that Joel was talking about his organic farm. So we, with an organic farm, how can you position yourself better? The first step is to position your product, right? You'd like your customers to think that your product or your business, somebody's trying to come in, just a minute. Okay. Your product or your business is the place to be. The second step is to identify and implement the marketing mix, right? How does the shop look? How does the business look? How does the staff look? Are the staff well dressed in uniform? How does the business make the customers feel? How are your waitresses, for example, in the example given of Fanny ice cream parlor, right? If your staff are working with the customer, how courteous are they? Do they make the customer smile, right? The shop is a shop near a place where the customers always go. For example, is your business next to a shop, next to a bank, right? A bank is a place where there's always a lot of customers, right? Do you have small sizes so customers will come? The result of the step 1 and step 2 is that customers would like to buy your product, right? You remember the girl saying, Fanny's ice cream is my favorite, right? So you want to ensure that customers who come to you will always look at your business and think about how it is that your brand makes them feel, right? So as businesses, we need to position our brands well. And positioning refers to how we are seen, the image that people have of us. And there are 3 criteria for good positioning. The way that people respond, the way that you respond to the needs of your customers, how you deliver, and how you are different from your competition. That is very important. So as we position our brands and our business, we want to know, 1, that we are creating value for our customers, and secondly, that we are doing things different to the competition. Have you ever been, for example, on Regent Street, where you find every shop selling the same thing? Nobody is different? That does not help you to get a competitive advantage. So you need to be able to be different and be create more value for your competitors. And if you are for your customers, by being different from your competitors, right? Now, how can you position your product or your service or whatever you are selling? There are 3 steps. Learn about your potential customers and your competitors, segment the market and select your target customers, and identify the position of your goods and services in the marketplace. So first of all, how do you learn about your potential customers and your competitors? You learn about them by 1, observing them, observing what it is that they do, also observing what they like, and sometimes asking them a question. So observation is a good part of surveying. Then you could also prepare a survey, a questionnaire, and ask your customers about their likes and their dislikes. Another thing that you could do is have a small town hall meeting, right? A group of people, a group of young people that you know of, you ask them, you say, I would like to know what are your likes and your dislikes. And in step one, you're also thinking about your competitors. What are your competitors doing that are different from what you are doing? So you want to make sure that you know where the gap is, the gap between what you are offering and what your competitors are offering. And that is where value lies. Another step would be step number 3, to identify the position of your goods and services within the market. Very important. How is your goods or your services seen? So for example, we heard from the ice cream parlor at Fanny's that two of the ladies really love to go to Fanny's because they thought it was a fun place. So you have to know how, therefore, your product is showing up in the marketplace, right? Some of the information that you can find out about your customers is which type of customers do you want to attract? What product do they want? What price are they willing to pay? Where they are and where they buy and how often? Whether they are happy or whether they are happy with the current goods and services or they want something different. With your competitors, you could ask them, so you could ask about the competitors or find out about the competitors by, first of all, you need to know who they are. Then you need to ask them, you need to ask your customers how they see the product or service from the competitor. Another thing that you want to find out is how their product is delivered and communicated. What makes a competitor stand out in the market? So these are some of the questions that you want to be able to ask for your product or services. So now we will do a short exercise where I will ask Joel. Is Joel there?
Mills or Bunbury?
Bunbury. I don't think Mills was there the last time. Bunbury.
Okay. Yeah.
Bunbury, you were the one who was talking about the organic.
That's correct.
Right. So I want you to look at the photos here on the screen and tell me in your own words, how is it that you were able to use some of those skills in understanding how to position your farm better? So we have eyes, looking, observing, listening, checking, talking, questioning. What have you done with your business, looking at these skills here, to be able to position that business better in the industry?
Okay, well, for me, the first thing is experience. I think that as long as you're going
Okay.
into a business, you need to get some sort of experience because it's like, if you, is it really something that you know that you're going into, something that you can manage? If anything goes under, you can be able to pick it up back because you have that experience or that knowledge. So for me,
Right.
first is experience. Going online is
Yes.
good because you get that the research, you keep abreast to anything new that is out there because there's always something new coming in each and every field. You can be in a clothing business, you can be in farming,
Right.
whatever it is, and something new always happens. That's because
Absolutely.
everything is getting so I like the news. News is good, especially if you're looking in parts that shows what the Ministry of Agriculture or whatever, depending on what you're doing, it shows definitely what's going on in that area, so you can be able to push yourself in that and say, okay, well, this is new. I can go to the Ministry of Agriculture now and get some seeds for my farm, and I'm speaking in my area, right? But it
Exactly.
can be
Well, no,
applied to many
I'm actually
fields.
asking you about yours, huh? I'm actually
Yeah,
asking, yeah,
exactly.
so please use it for that. Definitely.
Okay, so experience, you're going online, researching, using the newspaper to get any new information that, well, Guyana is providing currently, whatever is
Right.
happening. Listening basically to what persons use a lot. Like this person use tomatoes more, this person's
Right.
like boro, this person like okra. Okay, okay, well, good. This
Yes.
is something that I can do. I will plan these things so I can appeal or get or supply that demand that's for my
That
product.
is there.
Um,
Excellent.
check, ensure that there is enough seeds and such so that I can be able to supply those persons that need it. Talk to my customers, get to understand what they like, get to understand them in a way that I can actually win them over, right? So that
Right.
they can become my customers and not just
As
for a
well.
day, but for forever, you know. That's something
Exactly.
that I'd like to
Okay.
do. And yeah.
Okay, great. So just asking so that giving somebody else a chance. Joel, thank you for that. I just want to know if anyone else is thinking of something, one of those characteristics here that they can use even in their business, or Joel can use. It could be, we know of Joel's farm, but it could be even in your own business. Is there anything here that you could see finding out about customers or your competitors using any one of these? Hi, yes, Daniel?
Pardon me, miss?
You said something?
No, we're just looking for the thing that
Okay,
is
all
showing.
right. Okay, so yeah, is there anything anybody wants to share on that? No? Okay, so I see the question mark here, and I am sure most of you go through the supermarket often, and you see that there might be a lady with a hardboard and a paper asking you some questions. Have that happened to any of you before? Or even if you're walking on the street, you might get somebody asking questions about a particular product. Have you ever seen that happen?
Yes.
Yes, okay, great. And sometimes they ask you the questions about your tastes, your likes, your dislikes, how much you're willing to pay for a product. They might ask you about competitive products in the same line but different company, and ask you what you think of that product, and whether you feel it is too expensive or too cheap. So all of these are things that you can be asked, that you can use to better understand your customer and your competitors. Very important for you to look at. We have an example here about some stuffed toys, but we won't go through it in this session. I will definitely look at it to do it in another session, but you can use the same concept, the concept of understanding your customers, understanding your competitors through observation, through having a conversation, through the news, like Joel was saying, right? Understanding what the ministries, the government ministries in your particular area is talking about. All of these are issues things that you can use to get more information and insight about your customers. So I'll stop sharing at this time and ask you, do you have any questions regarding the presentation? Is there anything you did not understand? Anything you want to add to before we end? Anyone? They say when people don't ask questions, it's because they thoroughly understand. Is that right?
Maybe they haven't processed the information.
As yet. I like that, Whitney. Maybe you haven't processed the information. Maybe I'm speaking a little too fast. Is that right?
Probably.
Probably.
I see
Okay.
Liana has a comment in the chat.
In the comments, I actually saw it. Liana was saying, what about the risk factor that can occur while proceeding in a business, and how can you plan about it. Okay, so risk is actually outside of what we are discussing today. Today, we're just looking at the competitors and the customers, but you can plan for risk. What you need to do is to know what the risks are. You need to identify your risk, and then there are strategies that you can use to either mitigate that risk, accept that risk, or transfer that risk. And we can talk about that at another session for sure, Liana. Thank you for sharing that. So thank you so much, people, for coming out this evening. I really appreciate your time. And I do have an email that I have to send for you. Most of you have given me your emails. If you haven't, could you send your email to Malia and she will send it to me, because I have one email to send out to you. And thanks so much and good night.
You have a good night too.
Have a good evening and thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Have a
Miss.
good evening. All of
Bye-bye.
you.
Have a good evening, everybody.
Bye. Enjoy your night.
Bye. Have a good night. Be safe. Wear your mask.
Have a productive night.
Thank you. Bye.